distinguished guests, graduates and diplomats of the University of Chichester, I call upon Student Union Vice President Hermione Jane Boyce.
It's a huge honour to stand here today as the Vice President of the University of Chichester Students' Union at this incredibly significant moment of your lives. Today marks the culmination of years of dedication and hard work. You've met the deadlines, you've adapted to change, and you continue to show up, not only for your education, but for yourselves and for one another. You've balanced lectures with part-time jobs, coursework with society meetings, and study with memories that will last a lifetime. This moment is a celebration of perseverance, adaptability, and growth. It reflects the knowledge you've gained, the values you've shaped, and the resilience you've built along the way. In a world that is constantly evolving, your ability to learn, to question, and to rise to challenge is something that you should be truly proud of. Graduation is not only the end of a chapter defined by learning, but the beginning of something new, a moment to step forward. As you sit here today, it might feel like standing on the edge of a cliff leading to the next adventure. Some of you will be ready to dive head first. Some of you will want a moment to think, and some of you might think you need a bit more time before you jump. As you move on to this chapter, whatever that might be, I hope you take with you the values and the confidence that you've gained here. You're going to leave not only as graduates, but as critical thinkers, leaders, creators, researchers, collaborators, and advocates. Now's your time to fly, and I hope you make an impact wherever you go. I'd also like to take a moment to thank the families, friends, and academic staff and professional staff who've supported our graduates on their journey. No graduate reaches this moment alone. Behind every success story are the people who offered support along the way. To the loved ones, thank you for being a steady source of reassurance, celebration, and belief, even during the most challenging of moments. To the academic and professional staff, your passion and your commitment to excellence have helped shape not only minds, but futures. And to the student support teams, Students' Union staff, and everyone who works behind the scenes, your care, your commitment, and your dedication have shaped this journey. I've firsthand seen the determination and creativity that runs through your cohort. Some of you I know, and some of you I've supported personally. Each one of you has faced challenges, whether they've been academic or personal, whether they've been loud and visible or quiet and known only to you. You've showed up on the hard days and you pushed through when that motivation was low. That perseverance is something you should be truly proud of. This ceremony isn't just about academic success, it's about how far you've come, because you've earned this moment. Whether navigating academic pressure, personal setbacks, changing circumstances, or the unpredictable world that we live in, you've shown an unwavering commitment to your goals. You adapted, you persevered, and you continued to move forward even when it wasn't easy. I want you to take a moment to be proud not only of yourself, but of your peers and how much collectively you've overcome to be here. Finally, on behalf of the entire Students' Union, I want to say how proud we are of every single one of you. Each of you has added something special to this community. Whether you were a hardcore wishy ranger or an academic weapon, every single one of you has shown up and shaped our student community into something vibrant, bold, and beautiful. So wherever you go from here, whether that's to work, to travel, to change the world, or to take time to work life out, know that you are more than ready. You're not the same person who arrived on their first day. You're stronger, more resilient, more confident, and you're always going to be a graduate of the University of Chichester. This is not the end of your journey, but the beginning of endless possibilities. Distinguished guests, graduates, and diplomats of the University of Chichester, I call upon Professor Simeon Dadkas to give his opening remarks.
Thank you, Hermione. Beautiful words and opening remarks. It's always important in a day where you celebrate student success to have the student voice opening a ceremony. So thank you very much for that. Good morning, everyone. Actually, good afternoon, I must say. Yes. It is my great pleasure to welcome you to this graduation ceremony in this beautiful cathedral at Chichester. I would like to begin by acknowledging some very special guests whose presence makes today even more meaningful. We're honoured to be joined by the current High Sheriff of West Sussex and our Chair of Governors, Dr. Tim Fuchs, and other representatives for our Board of Governors and the Chair of the Audit Committee, Yvonne Chester. A warm welcome also to our honorary graduate, Dr. Sabrina Cohen-Hatton, who today receives an honorary Doctor of Psychology, recognition of her outstanding contribution to the world of psychology. Thank you for being here to celebrate this important occasion with us, Sabrina. Graduates, on behalf of the entire University of Chichester community, I would like to welcome you to this graduation ceremony. Today is all about you, recognizing your achievements and celebrating how far you have come. It's a delight to see this cathedral filled with those who have supported you throughout your time with us. Your families, friends, and loved ones have been an integral part of your journey, and I'm delighted they can be here today. Our mission at the University of Chichester has been not only to develop your academic skills and understanding, but to help you realize your full potential. Whatever your vocation, the contribution you wish to make, the career you're destined for, your education will have given you a passion for discovery and a very practical sense of how your learning can benefit others in society. You have been part of an environment where everyone feels safe to experiment and to explore, an atmosphere that brings out the best in you and your peers. And actually, it does not stop here. We hope that the qualification you have achieved is a source of enormous pride, where actually you are graduating from a university that was placed 6th in the entire country for teaching quality in the National Student Survey in 2025. And I would like to say a big thank you to our graduates today for actually voting us for more than 90% in that particular survey and making psychology a top 10 subject in this country, and also to our staff for engaging, working with our students to meet their full potential. You're graduating from an institution that has made the most significant climb in the Complete University Guide, and actually from the University of the Year for teaching excellence in the Daily Mail University League tables. And from a university that, as of Saturday just gone, is once again in the top 30 in the country in the Guardian University Guide, and top 8 for teaching excellence and student support in the whole of the country. But perhaps more importantly, you're graduating from a university that's dedicated to cultivating talent and potential wherever it is found. Our Adversity to University program has recently attracted national attention, and a significant financial donation for the way it opened doors for those individuals who have historically been excluded from higher education, but also from society. Our community's strength and vibrancy lies in its diversity. Your commitment, perseverance, and hard work has led to an academic qualification that sets you apart. Alongside the knowledge and skills you developed, you will have broadened your perspective and strengthened your character in countless ways. It is this, along with the friendships that you have made, that will ensure you thrive as you embark on the next stage of your life. You will always, always belong to the unique community that is the University of Chichester. And as you go out in the world, please know that we will be cheering you on at every step of the way. Also, please take a moment to recognize how far you've come and to congratulate yourself on everything that you have achieved so far. Although it might feel, as Hermione said earlier in her opening remarks, that an important chapter is closing, this is actually just the beginning, and I and we couldn't be more excited for you. And now a bit of the formal part of the whole opening remarks. Through the authority given to the university by the Privy Council and the power vested in me as the Vice-Chancellor by the academic board of this university, I now declare the ceremony open. Thank you very much. Now, I would like to invite the High Sheriff of West Sussex and the Chair of the Board of Governors, Dr. Tim Fuchs, to stand to confer the awards.
Chair of Governors, as Executive Dean of the Faculty of Social Sciences and Humanities, I present to you the candidates who have been awarded the Bachelor of Science in Counseling Psychology, Educational Psychology, Psychology. Samuel Gillet. Lily Collier. Ella Collier. Alana Crooks. The recipient of the William Northam Prize, Charlotte Day. Tanya Winter. Sarah Martiniuk. Caitlin Koster. Ellie Collins. Sophie Richards. Sarah Holland. Daisy Neves. Elizabeth Andrews. Hafsa Naziwa Pinto. Eddie Ampa. Haley Cherubini. Stephanie Britton. Kaylee Dunn. Vit Rajaselan. Josie Pierce. Lauren Ellis. Jessica Benson. Ali Varela. Carol Parker. Margarida Raposo. Natasha Watts. Jem Palmer. The recipient of the William Northam Prize, Anthony John Murray. Anastasia Brooks. Louisa Stanley. Hannah Wilson. Julia Kulawik. Annabelle Goodlife. May Bailey. Zoe Evans. Jess Woods. Kaiser Baxter. Eloise Maisie. Tom Elkins. Kira Henneke. Freya Lamprecht. Grace Ellingham. Paige Jenna Goodwin. Charlotte Calvert. Lily Rose Bonney. Molly Goodchild. Lily Baker. Tatiana Emma Jane Scarrett. Tamsin Renshaw. Kelly O'Connor. Reese Wildman. Arya Chaudhuri. Angelica Naziadaka Cox. Clover Caulfield. Lucy Castle. Rebecca Birch Gomez. Erin Thompson. Nadia Lay. Luke Hutchinson. Ella Ropa. Charlotte Frost. Isaac Young. Natalie Yolmazoglu. Emily Dixon. George Daniels. Nua Gilan. Elle Wig. Jessica Bryant. Daniels Mielavs. Nahir Basin. Nicola Brown. Imogen Collier. Toby Anderson. Melissa de la Chambre. Hannah Cool. Joshua Grief. Sanvin Athreya. Catherine Gore. Huwantika Ray. Pratik Gurung. Jatushana Kamalarajan. Natalie Humphreys. Celine Oy. Lucy Adams. Morgan Howard. Jessica Smith. Gemma Wilton. Caitlin Russell. Eve Mizekite. Baptiste Derrien. Jude Parker. Ariane Roulet. Esme Reed. The recipient of the Ashley Ewing Memorial Award, Zainab Ozifema Yusuf Abebu. Lewis William Small. Maria McCarran. Michelle Kong. Lucia Luna Sons. Diyal Mizra. Ola Morris. Alina Joseph. Emilia Mayhew. Alicia Albury. That concludes the presentation of the Bachelor of Science, Chair of Governors. As Executive Dean of the Faculty of Social Sciences and Humanities, I present to you the candidates who have awarded the Integrated Masters of Science in Applied Psychology. Claudia Marco. Calum Worcester. The recipient of the William Northam Prize, Chloe Silcox. Angel Zemuri. Marielle Lagan. The recipient of the British Psychological Society Southeast Branch Undergraduate Prize for Best Dissertation, Poppy Dilks. James Prentice. Georgia Delve. That concludes the presentation of the awards.
I'd now like to invite Dr. Sabrina Cohen-Hatton to come to the stage and stand in the middle alongside our Chair of our Audit Committee, Yvonne Chester. Distinguished guests, graduates, diplomats, it's a great pleasure to be able to present to you Dr. Sabrina Cohen-Hatton, upon whom the University of Chichester is confirming an Honorary Doctor of Psychology. Dr. Cohen-Hatton stands as an extraordinary example of resilience, innovation, and leadership. Born in 1983 in Newport, South Wales, she faced profound adversity, made homeless at 15 following her father's death, and she survived by selling The Big Issue, enduring anti-Semitic attacks while sleeping rough. But at 18, she joined the South Wales Fire and Rescue Service, becoming the first woman at her station. Driven by a desire to improve emergency response, Dr. Cohen-Hatton balanced service with academia, earning a degree from the Open University and completing a groundbreaking PhD in behavioural neuroscience at Cardiff University in 2013. Her research, utilising helmet camera studies, revealed that 80% of incident decisions are instinctive, leading to a new decision control model that increased commanders' awareness 5-fold. This evidence-based innovation is now embedded in national policy via the National Fire Chiefs Council. Dr. Cohen-Hatton was appointed Chief Fire Officer for West Sussex Fire and Rescue Services in 2019, one of the UK's most senior female fire officers, during which she led operational responses to high-profile incidents, including Westminster and Finsbury Park. And in April this year, she was appointed Chief Fire Officer of the Hampshire and Isle of Wight Fire and Rescue Service, the first woman to hold this post, and she started the position in August. I'm sure you will all join me in wishing her every success in this very significant role. But there's more. Dr. Cohen-Hatton is a best-selling author, The Heat of the Moment, a great read and still available in good bookshops, ambassador for The Big Issue, a recipient of numerous honours, including an honorary fellowship from Cardiff University, and in 2019 she was a guest on Desert Island Discs, choosing The Old Man and the Sea by Ernest Hemingway as her single book, a photo album as her luxury item, and her favourite track was Bank Robber by The Clash. Dr. Cohen-Hatton's transformative leadership, pioneering scholarship, and advocacy for social mobility and gender equality make her a truly deserving recipient of the University of Chichester's Honorary Doctorate. Chair of the Audit Committee, Yvonne Chester, and Vice-Chancellor, I present to you Dr. Sabrina Cohen-Hatton for an Honorary Doctor of Science of the University of Chichester.
Thank you so much, everybody. I'm quite small. I hope you can see me. Proud parents, incredible graduates, and bored siblings playing on your iPhone. I feel like I have so much thanks to give for this, particularly to Dr. Tim for the plug of the book, and now I need to apologise for my dreadful taste in music. However, when I was reflecting on what to say to you all today, one phrase kept coming to mind, and that was great expectations. I know how hard you've worked to get here today. I know the grit and the determination and the stubborn, dogged sheer will that it takes to become a graduate, and it's not easy. And you'll no doubt have great expectations for what comes next, and it's going to be truly exciting. But one of the things that I want to say to you is greatness doesn't always follow expectations. In fact, sometimes the most amazing opportunities come around when you don't expect them. I know that when you say Chief Fire Officer, people don't generally tend to expect me. In fact, there are still more Chief Fire Officers called Chris than women chiefs in the UK, but there were more Daves at one point as well, and then someone retired and skewed my statistics, but we'll go with Chris. And I know that when you are so different to everybody else, it can take a while to feel comfortable in your own skin sometimes. But it's actually incredibly empowering, because when you don't meet people's expectations, do you know what? You're not bound by them either. And that leaves you free to draw your own boundaries. And I know certainly I didn't expect to be standing here today receiving an honorary psychology doctorate. I really didn't. There was a time when all I could hope for was to get through the day. And you heard from the citation my experience of homelessness when I was younger. And it's an experience that I know is by no means unique to me, but there was a point in time when I didn't even expect to get through that, let alone have a career that I've loved, people that I love dearly and who love me, and to be able to be standing in front of you experiencing an honour like this. But at the point of time that secure accommodation became a reality for me, I started to think about what else might become a reality. And that's when I thought about the fire service. Because for me, firefighting is an incredible privilege, because people trust you to know what to do when they're having the worst day they've ever had. I could relate to that, because for a while it felt like every day was going to be my worst day. But here's the thing, when I joined the fire service, I didn't expect to take a detour into academia. I had an incident that completely changed the course of my world. I was called one day to deal with an incident where another firefighter was severely burned. The trouble was, there was a 1 in 4 chance that that other firefighter who was burned was my husband. And as I turned out to that incident, I can remember feeling incredibly torn between the role of a responder and all of the responsibilities and accountabilities that go with that, but also the role of a loved one and all of the fears and anxieties that go with that. And when we arrived there, I was fortunate. It wasn't my husband that was hurt, but it was a friend of ours. And that friend was someone else's loved one. And that incident made me think about what we could do to keep firefighters safer. And after that, I went back to night school and I studied psychology all the way up to a PhD in behavioural neuroscience, exploring how we were making decisions and how we could teach people techniques to help them make better decisions when it really mattered the most. And that is now something that we use all across the UK, and in fact, all emergency services now use it. I never expected something positive to come out of that day, but sometimes those greatest opportunities are dressed up like disaster. You've just got to peel back the surface a little bit and have practical optimism, and you'd be amazed at what you can do. Sometimes, I promise you, the best careers are squiggly. So whatever your expectations are today, have them, hold them, but please don't be bound by them, because you might be surprised at what tomorrow can bring. But what I do know is tomorrow is yours, and I dare you to grab it. Thank you, everyone.
Sabrina, that was absolutely incredible. Great expectations, and always have an open mind what's around the corner. Just a few concluding remarks from me, some formal and some informal. I'll start with the formal one. Through the authority given to the university by the Privy Council and the power vested in me as a Vice-Chancellor of the Academic Board of the University, I declare that those persons who are listed in the graduation program, who present themselves here at this ceremony, and who accept their awards in absentia, are deserving of the awards that has been made to them, having achieved them by due and approved process. Congratulations. Now the not-so-formal part. So, graduates, all the way back there. Many people have played a part in your success, supporting you along the way of those studies. In a moment, please, on a count of 3, I would like you to put your hands together and show your appreciations for the friends, family, and staff members who have been part of your journey. Now, please do be as unrestrained and as enthusiastic as you wish. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. That was brilliant, thank you. So, I now declare that the ceremony is closed. Please remain standing if you are able to for the academic procession and whilst the graduates leave the cathedral. As the graduates process out, please do applaud them loudly. Thank you very much and have a lovely afternoon.